Namaste, myself Triveni Khurana, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Physiotherapy and Diagnostics, JBN, Rajasthan. Today's topic is walking aids. Walking aids are sometimes also referred to as ambulatory assistive devices. A walking aid is one of the several devices a patient may be issued in order to improve their walking pattern, balance, or safety while mobilizing independently. It can also be a means of transferring weight from the upper limb to the ground in cases where reducing weight bearing through the lower limb is desired. Walking aids fall into multiple categories and include the following: canes or walking sticks, crutches, walkers, standing aids. Although often a solution of mobility issues, walking aids do come with their own mix of benefits and challenges to the individual using them. A 2005 study reported that these devices can improve balance and mobility, but also can interfere with balance in certain situations, and the strength and metabolic demands can be excessive. They hope for improved designs and guidelines for safer use of canes and walkers. Prescription of walking aid should ideally be done by a therapist after a thorough assessment of gait, balance, cognition, and the cardiovascular, musculoskeletal, and the neurological systems. Assessment should also take into account any clinically significant comorbidities and the individual's day-to-day mobility requirements, for example, thresholds in their home, community ambulations, navigating steps, or public transport. Third, needs to be given to whether the walking aid is a temporary requirement, for example, post-fracture, or more long-term option, for example, a walking frame for an elderly adult with reduced mobility post-stroke. Therapists should also be aware of perceptions of walking aids can be negative at times, as individuals may feel like they are giving up their independence or fear they will look frail. In such instances, the therapist needs to balance the individual's concerns with safety, encouraging the patient to consider the walking aid as keeping them mobile and able to participate in their activities of daily activities. Follow-up is also needed after an initial assessment and prescription in order to adjust the walking aid as needed. Although beneficial for stability and balance, walking aids can be difficult to use, which is associated with fall. Prescription of an appropriate walking aid requires knowledge of weight bearing prescribed to the patient or being allowed by the problem present. Weight bearing status can be described by following: full weight bearing, there are no restrictions and patient can be 100% body weight on the lower extremity. Next is non-weight bearing, no weight is borne on the involved limb. Next is partial weight bearing. Patient is allowed to bear only a portion of body weight on lower extremities. It is sometimes expressed as a percentage of body weight, example 20 or 70. Next is toe touch weight bearing. Only the toes of the affected extremity contact the floor to improve balance. Next is weight bearing as tolerated. Weight bearing is limited by patient tolerance of weight borne on extremity. There are some limitations for rollators. Studies have shown a reduction in the use of quadriceps during stance phase due to reduction in knee extensor movement. There is also an increase in hip flexion throughout the stance phase due to increased forward trunk flexion. This reduced knee flexion during rollator walking could possible explaining the reduced dorsiflexion of the ankle joint observed in this situation. quad stick or cane, heavier than a standard stick or cane, requires a slower walking pattern, reduced stability. Up to 30% of time, people were using their two-wheel or non-wheel Zimmer frame or walker incorrectly by not putting the appropriate amount of weight through the frame when stepping. Crutches. Crutches are the type of walking aids that serve to increase the size of an individual's base of support. It transfers weight from the legs to the upper body and is often used by people who cannot use their legs to support their weight. That is short-term injuries to lifelong disabilities. There are three types of crutches available: axilla crutches, elbow crutches and gutter crutches. Axilla or underarm crutch, they should actually be positioned about 5 cm below the axilla with the elbow flexed 15 degrees approximately. The design includes an axilla bar, a handpiece and the double uprights joined distally by a single leg. They are adjustable in height. Both the overall height and hand grip height can be adjusted. Approximately 48 to 60 inches or 12 to 153 centimeters. Next is forearm crutches or Lofstrand elbow or Canadian crutch. Their design includes a single upright, a forearm cuff and a hand grip. The height of the forearm crutches are indicated from hand grip to the floor. Adjustable from 29 to 35 inches or 74 to 89 centimeters. Next crutch is gutter crutch or adjustable arthritic crutch or forearm support crutch. These are additional types of crutches which is composed of padded forearm support made up of metal, a strap, adjustable handpiece with a rubber ferrule. These crutches are used for patients who are on partial weight bearing like rheumatoid diseases. Now, what should be the measurement? It is essential that crutches are measured and adjusted to suit every patient they are given to. There are various methods to measure both the canes. There are various walking patterns for crutches: 2-point, 3-point, 4-point, gate 2 and gate through. What is 2-point crutch? The crutches and the fractured leg are 1 point and the uninvolved leg is the another point. The crutches and fractured limb are advanced as one unit. The uninvolved weight-bearing limb is brought forward to the crutches as the second. This gait pattern is less stable as only 2 points are in contact with the floor and good balance is needed to walk with 2 points crutch gait. What is 3-point? 3-point gait pattern is used when one side lower extremity is unable to bear weight due to fracture, amputation or joint replacements. It involves 3 points contact with the floor. The crutches serve as 1 point, the involved leg as the second point and the uninvolved leg as the third point. Each crutch and the weight bearing limb are advanced separately with 2 of the 3 points maintaining contact with the floor at any given time. Now, what is 4-point gait? 4-point gait pattern is used when there is lack of coordination, poor balance and muscle weakness in both lower extremity, as it provides slow and stable gait pattern with 3-point support on it. Point 1 is the crutch on the involved side, point 2 is the uninvolved leg, and point 3 is the involved leg, and point 4 is the crutch on the uninvolved side. The crutches and limbs are advanced separately with 3 of the 4 points on the ground and bearing weight at any given time. What is gate to gate touch? Gate 2, the fractured limb is advanced and then the intact limb is brought to the same position. When weight bearing status is restricted to partial toe touch as tolerated, crutches or a walker are necessary and help the patient step to the fractured limb by pushing down with the upper extremities, thus transferring weight from the fractured limb to the assistive device. What is gait through? In gait through, the intact leg is advanced and then the fractured leg is advanced past it. With restricted weight bearing, crutches are used instead of the injured limb. The patient steps past the crutches with the weight bearing lower extremity. The gait assumes a 2-point or it may be 3-point pattern. Now, what are the various indications? Use of crutch. If patient has lost the use of a limb, it is either injured or amputated. When the patient having problem with balance and impaired strength. Now we are moving to canes or sticks. Walking sticks are designed to provide balance support in standing and walking. Take some pressure off one or both legs. Improve feeling of safety and security when walking. There are lots of choose from, wood or metal right up to state of the art of carbon fiber. They can be traditional or come in the range of modern colors and patterns. There are some sticks that fold right up to fit in a carry case or handbag, and some are adjustable to make it easier to get the right length stick. A range of handle styles are available including T-shape, offset, crook, swan neck and ergonomic, which are designed to provide additional support under the palm. 4-point sticks, also known as quad stick, provide a wider base of support than more common single point walking stick. However, they can also create a potential tripping hazard due to their increased side weight. Walking sticks are used widely, reduce pain and improve stability and balance. However, they are frequently used incorrectly and can be dangerous if not properly maintained. It is important to educate patients on how to obtain greatest benefit from their walking stick and of necessity to check it regularly for defects to ensure safe usage. Walking sticks are a form of walking aid. Types of hand grips and their benefits are T-handle, good grip and control. Crook handle provides hanging up of stick. Swan neck handle, it makes the stick feel more balanced. Ergonomic handle fits body closely and it is good for very stiff or painful hands. Left and right handles are different in the ergonomic handles. Now the types of canes. A detailed understanding of different types of ambulatory assistive devices and their types, modifications, fittings, stability and indications is essential in prescribing. The type used is depend on the type of gait disturbances. Gait disturbance categories are balance due to sensory or cerebellar, motor including cerebellar initiation of walking and muscular strength, or joint or skeletal problems. What is standard canes? This can also be called a straight cane and it is generally made of wood and aluminium. They are lightweight, inexpensive. The length of the wooden standard canes must be custom fitted to the specific patient, while the aluminium standard can have pins for length adjustment, so there is no need for custom fitting. These standard canes are useful for patients that need just an additional point of contact with the floor for balance with little or no weight bearing needed, therefore increasing the base of support. This cane can be used for patients with mild sensory or coordination problems found in the visual, auditory, vestibular, peripheral proprioceptive or central cerebellar diseases. What is offset cane? These canes are usually made from aluminium and the lengths are also adjustable with no need of custom fittings. These canes allow for patient's weight to be displaced over the shaft of the cane. This can provide more stability and can be used for the occasional weight bearing. This type of patients in need of this cane are those with painful gait disorders like that of mild to moderate antalgic gait gotten from hip or knee arthritis. What is quadrupod cane? This is a four-legged cane usually made up of aluminium. This cane permits more weight bearing, increases base of support and provides more stability for the patient. It can also stand by itself, freeing the patient to use his or her hands. The only disadvantage is that all four legs of the cane must be in contact with the floor during gait to provide stability, which hinders fast gait. It is also not suitable for stair climbing. It can be prescribed for hemiplegic patients or patients with moderate to severe antalgic gait from osteoarthritis. What is hemi-walker? This is also known as walk cane. It is made up of aluminium and has a vertical component with a handle and two legs and another component with two additional legs angled away from the patient. This cane provides more broad-based support than the other canes. It is used by patients requiring continuous weight bearing through one upper extremity like stroke patients with hemiparesis who have moderate to severe lower extremity disabilities. Now, how to ambulate with the cane? Walking sticks are usually used on the unaffected or strongest side of the body, that is the good leg. But this may depend on the individual preference and their abilities. The stick should be placed forward at the same time as the affected leg and then the unaffected leg follows. If using two sticks at the same time, a 4-point gait may be used by bringing one stick forward, then the opposite leg, then the other stick followed by the other opposite leg. 4-point stick with an offset base should be positioned so that the straight side of the base is nearest to the body. All points of the stick should maintain contact with the ground when the stick is placed down. To negotiate going up steps and stairs, lift the unaffected leg up first, then the stick and the affected leg onto the same step. To travel down, the stick and the affected leg should be lowered first, then the unaffected leg down to the same step. From sitting to standing positions, position the cane on the unaffected side of the patient. Advise the patient to move to the edge of the seat. Hold the cane handle and bear weight on the unaffected leg and cane to come up to the standing position. Make sure height of the cane is appropriate at the level of greater trochanter. Ensure elbow flexed is 20 to 30 degrees and that the cane is 2 inches in front of the affected leg and 6 inches to the side of the affected leg. Now standing to sitting instructions. Instruct the patient to approach the chair or bed and turn in small circles toward the stronger side till the back is facing the chair or bed. Assist the patient to back up to the chair until the chair can be felt against the back of the patient's leg. Instruct the patient to reach for one arm rest at a time. The patient lowers to the chair in a controlled manner. Inspect cane on a regular basis. Make sure that the cane has a rubber top for shock absorption and the grip to prevent slipping. Always check the cane for worn tips and handles. Always make sure that the cane is at appropriate height to avoid imbalance and bad postures. Now we are moving towards walker. Walker. A walker is a walking aid that has 4 points of contact with the ground and usually has 3 sides, with the side closest to the patient being open. It provides a wider base of support than a walking stick and so is used more to stabilize patient with the poor balance and mobility. Having a caregiver and being unable to walk more than 1 meter per second has been significantly associated with walking frame use. Paradoxically, walker or frame use has been associated with an increased risk of falls in both the community dwellers and those who live in the residential care. Using a walker can also increase metabolic and musculoskeletal demands. So prescription and education is key to helping the user maintain their balance, minimize their fall risk, and optimize their activity levels. People may be resistant to use walkers due to social stigma and peer pressure, particularly so in minority groups. By having positive peers models, greater physician input, more visually pleasing walkers, lower cost walkers, and user friendly walkers would aid in greater acceptance. Thank you.